Alright, we're here at King's Dominion in Dawsville, Virginia, and I must say, I'm pretty excited. Both me and Andy, the Gemini Man, are excited to be here. I've been here before, but it's been over 10 years. From what I understand, I was still in high school the last time I was here, and Andy has never been here before.
Yep, this is my first time here, and I've been wanting to come here for years. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
But as of the recording of this, which is October 1st, this is one of our first Halloween specials of the year.
Yep.
So we'll be seeing some monsters and stuff while we're here tonight at King's Dominion.
So we're trying to get on as many roller coasters as we can because of the things that were happening with Hurricane Ian. And the park's only open from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
So we're going to try and get on all the coasters that are open while we're here.
Yeah, but it's going to be a real crunch.
But with that, we'll see you after the intro, and we'll see you inside.
Alright, we just got off of Dominator, and I must say, that was a pretty amazing ride.
I completely agree. Back when me and John were little, I went to Six Flags Ohio, otherwise known as Geauga Lake. But back when Dominator was originally at Geauga Lake when it was Six Flags Ohio, and it was known as Batman Night Flight. I never got to ride it because I was only 4 at the time, so now I finally got to ride it.
Yeah. Well, and I never saw when it was Batman Night Flight, but I remember when I first came here at King's Dominion for the first time. Dominator was a brand new credit, and I did not get on it then because back when I was a little kid, I was scared of going upside down. But when I came here for my second time, I was over that fear, and I got on it and I loved it. And I've been loving that thing ever since. And in fact, I like it so much that every single time when I ever try to do a major inverting roller coaster on games like Planet Coaster, one of my go-to model layouts is something like Dominator. Now we're on our way back to Tumby and Reptilian, try to get on those credits, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we just got off of Tumby for and did 2 rides on it, and I must say, when they say that your ride can vary on these things, they were not kidding. I mean, we basically, with the 2 rides that we had, the first one, it was, in terms of the amount of free spinning that we were doing, it was more like a more intense rocking chair with some airtime thrown in. But the second time was just nuts. We got flipped upside down 3 times. And once was just a very forceful spin all the way around. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I really loved it. I can't. When next time we come, I'm going to ride it again.
Oh, we're about to get on Reptilian, formerly known as Avalanche Run. And we'll see you in a little bit.
Up on your left bar and exit to your left.
We hope you enjoy your journey on Reptilian. Please be careful.
Up on your left bar and exit to your left.
We hope you enjoy your journey on Reptilian. Please be careful. Reptilian. For safety, please remain seated facing.
right, we just got off a Reptilian, and I must say it was a different experience than from I remember with Avalanche Run. Well, then again, it's been 10 years since I did Avalanche Run, and well, one thing I noticed, big difference I noticed is with the volcano being gone, there's some near miss elements that it also got rid of. So it was a lot more open of a ride and a lot less theming.
Right.
But still a pretty forceful ride.
But for my first ride experience, I thought it was actually really, really cool.
Yep.
But another thing, we're not riding it, but another thing over here is the Ractina, which is they rethemed their scrambler for the new section at Jungle Expedition.
Yeah. And right now we're heading for Anaconda, a aero custom mover that has gained quite a large amount of infamy for being long, drawn out, and extremely boring.
We'll have to. I'm gonna test it for the first time because the closest thing we got right now that's like Vortex.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see you so we'll get on, we're going to get on Anaconda, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we just got off of Anaconda, and yeah, it's as boring as I remember it. I mean, it's not, well, let me clarify on that. I'm not saying it's like an absolute snooze fest, because there is a few good elements that, like, going into the tunnel is a little bit of a rush, as well as the inversions are good, but the rest of the ride is just meandering around. It's not the best. That's right. But it's, I wouldn't say it's a terrible ride, just boring. Alright, would you agree on that one?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's the closest thing that's similar to what we had with Vortex back home at Kings Island, but not really. It was a little bit different, but nothing can beat Vortex. I'm sorry, Anaconda, but Vortex is still king of the arrows.
Yeah, and now we're heading for their biggest coaster, and my personal number 4, or Intimidator 305, which is also Andy's here's 100th roller coaster.
I'm excited about it. I've been waiting years to ride this thing since John told me about it.
Oh yeah, I remember riding this thing, and it still is one of the most forceful roller coasters I've ever been on. On the first time I actually rode it, I almost passed out on it at a couple locations. It is just that intense. So we're about to get in line, so we need to get ready to start our engines. Alright, we just got off of Intimidator 305 and Flight of Fear, and I would say there are some big differences between with the Flight of Fear. Let's start with that one real quick, because I have to say it's pretty brief. Most of it is pretty much the same as the one at our home park, Kings Island. But there are some minor differences, but most of it is just differences in terms of the theming and stuff. But in terms of overall feel of the ride, it's not as it's just as forceful. I think we got it. It's just as forceful as the Flight of Fear at Kings Island. But it's just slightly smoother, But other than that, the theme is a little. There's some slight differences in terms of the theming. In other words, inside the UFO, there is where it's lit up white. It's different, all sorts of different colors. And it also has a lot more. And also there's in the station itself, the big thing for supports is gray. At the one at home, they're copper here. Yeah. As for Intimidator 305, that thing is just insane. What do you think about that?
I am still glad that that's my 100th credit. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Twice. We rode it twice.
Oh yeah, we were twice. Once in the front, once in the very front, once in the closer to the back. I think we were in the second to last car. But it's definitely is an amazing ride. It's my number 4, like I said earlier. Now we're about to get on Backlot Stunt Coaster. It's essentially it's the same thing as the one at Kings Island, as well as there's one at Canada's Wonderland, and I think California's Great America.
Yeah, I believe so.
As well as maybe one at I think there's one and also at California's Great America, but don't quote us on that one. And but anyway, we're about to get on this, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we just got off a Backlot Stunt Coaster, the one at King's Dominion, and I must say, it is a lot more forceful than the one at Kings Island by a pretty fair amount, actually. Well, especially the second half. The first half is a little more forceful, especially it's only noticeable on the helix. But on the second half, where you go out, you come popping out of the big billboard thing. That thing on the one at Kings Island, you're almost crawling out of that. I think that's probably because there's some trims at the one at Kings Island. While this one you're just going straight out. But also, yeah, I think the launch on this one afterwards it's slightly faster.
Yeah, I have to say the same thing actually. It feels a lot shorter than the one back at Kings Island, but it's also I think I agree it's a lot forceful than the one back at home at Kings Island. But all in all, it's actually an okay coaster.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna be heading back to try to get on Twisted Timbers as well as Racer 75 on both sides. And this time, the Honda is happening, so I'm just a little nervous. I don't like it. I don't like the Honda stuff. I'll just say right now. So we're heading back that way, and we'll see you in a little bit. Got some reference is here. Kings Peak, Lost World National Park.
Hughes Cavern System.
Diamond Falls. Go back more on the side. Tumbili. Arachna and Reptilian. I think I see what's going on. The three on the three on the right side are new stuff. These guys are all old. No wait, the backwards. These guys are new things, and the other side's older stuff.
Yes. For those of you that aren't familiar, before Volcano, it was Lost World Mountain, and there were 3 rides in the mountain, which was a scrambler ride, a flat ride of some sort, I forget, as the Smurf ride or the Haunted River, and the other one was the Land of the Dunes. This was a ride before that became Smurf Mountain.
And as for these guys, these are all just so that we either saw or Reptilian was again the bobsled. Tumbili's is their SNS 43 free spinner, and I'm sorry for butchering that. That is their scrambler ride.
Yeah, but this is all references. It's all references to the area, old and new stuff from this section of the park.
All right. Now we're going to continue heading back, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, we slight change of plans. I think we're still trying to head for Twisted Timbers, but on our way towards the back, we realized we were passing Racer 75. So we're just quickly changing over. We're doing Racer 75 first, then we're going to do Twisted Timbers afterwards. Now, this is a similar thing to at Kings Island, but it was an exact clone of the one that was at Carowinds. The
Thunder Road, which was their racer, which we told you about in our Carowinds video, which should, there'll be a notification right up here in the corner, and you can see that for yourself.
All right. Well, we're about to get on this thing, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, we just got off a Racer 75, and I must say that the blue side is pretty good, but the red side needs some work. The red side was had a few pretty nasty bumps. The one was actually really painful, but I must say it's still pretty good. And honestly, even with the bumps, I'd say it's marginally better than the racers at Kings Island.
Yeah, I have to agree. The blue side was actually decent. The red side really jackhammered you a couple times, so I say it needs a little work.
Do you think it's better than the one at Kings Island?
It's iffy. It's in between. I can't help but I like Racer Kings Island, so it's in between.
Yeah, well, one of the things that really makes me think it's better than the one at Kings Island is simply put, the one there where you go just after you go past the lift hill with the racers at Kings Island. It just a straight set. The tunnel is just a straight section of track. This has an extra dip in it.
Yeah, I thought it was neat that they had a dip tunnel with a dip in it. I like that the final dip in it, like because at Kings Island there's a straight track back into the station instead.
Well, anyway, we're heading back towards Twisted Timber to get on that, as well as get on, potentially. We noticed Adam's Apple might be running, so we might try to get on that as well. So we're going to try to get on those two, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, it's coming. Just exited.
I got some shots.
Alright, we got right on Twisted Timbers, Apple's Apple, and we also got a night ride on Dominator. We're able to snag that.
And on Tumbili. We had a night ride on Tumbili as well.
Yeah, and I must say, with Twisted Timbers, let's just start there. I would say that thing is just nuts. I mean, it's not Steel Vengeance, but very few things can beat that coaster. But Twisted Timbers is definitely a highlight coaster. It almost feels like King's Dominion, in my opinion, has a really good 1-2-3 punch combo with Dominator, Intimidator 305, and Twisted Timbers. With Dominator being a good, decent inverting roller coaster, Twisted Timbers having some inversion, but mainly having a strong influence on solid ejector, and Intimidator 305 just giving you the height and speed.
Yeah. But due to the flow, like we said at the beginning of the video, we actually the crowds weren't as bad as we thought they were going to be. Mainly because I think most of the crowds were actually scared off by the remnants of Hurricane Ivan, which was actually lucky for us, or Hurricane Ian, I'm sorry. But anyway, I think the crowds were actually really scared off. So most of the rides tonight were walk-ons, which was really surprising, and that some people, I think, were in the mazes as well.
Yeah, the only ride I can remember that we did not have almost an immediate walk-on was Twisted Timbers, and that still had a very short wait. The only other one that we had to wait a decent, the only ride that we had to wait a decent amount of time for was our second ride on Intimidator 305. But that had it. But it was having issues. So that's why. So as a whole, I did say we had a pretty solid day today.
Yeah, we thought that it wasn't going to be horrible. We wouldn't get on all that we wanted to, except for because if we only had 6 hours to ride everything. We actually rode everything that was open at least. So I have to come back for Grizzly to get the credit since it's going to be closed until next spring.
Well, until then, this is John the Mystic Rider.
And Andy the Gemini Man, and this is part 1 of our Halloween specials for the year, so stay tuned.